Hey everyone, it's John here. I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to share about who I am, why I started this channel, and an important health update that's coming up for me. For those of you that are new here, we started this channel because we love fishing, we love being outdoors, and we love sharing all the experiences with others. There's something about being out on the water, chasing fish, and sharing those experiences with others. If you're here for the cooking, we like to share our cooking recipes also. We love doing catch clean cooks. We love showing the whole process from catching the fish, cleaning the fish, and cooking and sharing the food with family. The channel has become more than just fishing videos, more than just cooking videos. It's about sharing our passion with the community. A little background on why I started the channel. It was more of a challenge for me to see if I could learn how to do the video editing. We didn't take any classes, just started doing it. Started pretty raw. iPhones, a couple of GoPros. The very first fishing video that I did, I edited it all on an iPad. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you don't need a lot of equipment to start. Just get out there, do it. We started posting some videos, started getting a few followers. I was kind of surprised at first. I didn't know exactly what we were doing. And a couple of videos have done really, really good. A couple of them not so good. But in the couple of years that we've been doing this, we've amassed a little over 22,000 followers. The channel has started to grow quite a bit, and I really do appreciate everybody that has tuned in, watched the videos, subscribed, commented, liked the videos, and shared some of the videos with their friends and family. We really do appreciate it. Now for the personal part. Over the last year or so, we've been talking with the doctor. Started with my personal doctor on our annual physicals and blood work. We noticed a few things that needed to be addressed. Overall, I'm in pretty good health, but cholesterol has been a issue for the last several years, and we've tried to manage it by diet, exercise, watching what we're eating. I know some of the videos are, you guys see cooking briskets or cooking steaks on the big green egg, but that's not what I eat every day. Probably about 5 years ago, we got serious about health. I was a little bit overweight, not terrible. I'm 6'2", I was 250 pounds. Noticed some sluggishness and wasn't quite feeling, like I used to. So we started walking more, biking more, watching what we're eating, tried to get cholesterol in check. Lost quite a bit of weight, now 205. But unfortunately, it may have been a little bit too late to curb what is now coming to fruition. So after meeting with our primary doctor, we did the very first test was a CT score where they measure I believe it's like the calcification around your heart. The score came back pretty high. Wasn't what we were hoping for. After that, we decided to do a few more tests, another MRI with dye that hopefully could pinpoint if we had some blockage in the arteries or if it was just on the outside of the arteries, because you can't really tell sometimes. And that came back not so good also. Then we did some more tests. I don't feel terrible, so it's kind of hard to believe. Very mild symptoms, I just didn't feel right. I knew that something didn't feel right. A couple of times out on the boat this summer, we, hooked in a couple of big sharks. And after battling, a shark for 30, 40 minutes, I noticed that my heart was beating a little faster than it used to in the last years, whenever I was catching a big fish and, I had to take a break. Pretty mild, fairly, recovered fairly quickly. I was thinking maybe it was just dehydration. It's been a very hot summer. And, I'm able to fish all day. No real major symptoms other than a little bit of irritation in the chest area. I don't have any pain in my arms. Sometimes not really shortness of breath, almost more like an anxiety feeling that I never had had before. That, is one of the symptoms. Very mild lightheadedness at times. If you're squatting down or whatever and you get up real quick, most people will feel a little lightheaded, but a couple of times just normal walking, I was like, man, that just doesn't feel right. So we continued to discuss it with our doctor, and she referred us to a general cardiologist, and we did a few more tests with her, and she referred us to another doctor who's a cardiac specialist that does stents. And a couple of weeks ago, so today's the November 8th, so October 23rd, we went to the hospital. Went to radiology. We were gonna try to do a stent. They went in through my arm, got the catheter up to my heart area where the blockages were, injected a dye, and once they did that, realized where the blockage actually was not a viable spot for long-term survivability to put a stent. The area was a little bit larger than what we hoped. The blockage is right at the top of the LAD, which is the left anterior descending artery. And where the artery splits, goes down the front of your heart and along the side of your heart, there's blockage in both of those channels. So he wasn't able to place a stent, remove the catheter. I went back to recovery and waited for the cardiac surgeon to come talk to us. So after speaking with her, there's really nothing else that can be done other than open heart surgery, which we have scheduled for Monday. Today is Saturday. So we got one more day, and then we go to the hospital. So I have a 2-part procedure that needs to be done. The first part, which is initially the only procedure we thought we were going to do, obviously open heart surgery, big incision, cutting the sternum. The procedure is called a Lima procedure or a Lima graft, which is your left internal mammary artery. So underneath your chest wall, you have arteries, some superficial that are, secondary or can be basically moved around. So left internal mammary artery, they're going to detach and move to the left anterior descending artery. And then the second part of the procedure, they are going to take a vein from my leg, which I've already been to the hospital and they've mapped out on both sides of the leg. The doc will decide on Monday which leg she's taking it from. So they'll make a small incision somewhere in my leg, go down, make another incision, remove the artery, and they're going to do a bypass for the left side of the LAD to make sure we have enough blood flow going to that. So once that's completed, sew me back up. Quite a long road of recovery. Probably a week in the hospital, 5 to 7 days is what they're saying. Lots of rest, and then first week back home, some walking, breathing exercises. And then I believe we start rehab after that, which fortunately I'm in pretty good shape. All the testing we've done Did some testing on the lungs because unfortunately to do this procedure, I'm gonna have to be on a ventilator. Also gonna have bypass, so they stopped the heart, so they're able to work on it. Luckily, my lung capacity is really good. I don't smoke, so when we did the lung test, I was in like the 135 percentile, so really, really, really good. So that'll be nice, so I don't have to worry about hopefully pneumonia or anything like that, which can come if you don't have, great lung capacity. So if you smoke, quit smoking. If you have cholesterol issues, first off, everybody, needs to be going to the doctor every year. Get your blood work, get your physical. It's not a lot of money. Really should be done. See where your levels are at. We never thought we'd have an issue. We've always been fairly active. Like I said, I was a little overweight for a while, but we've been very active over the last 10 years. We do a lot of fishing. We do a lot of working around the house. A lot of walking, some bike riding, and, try to stay active. But unfortunately, nobody's ever as active as, they hope to be. So I'm asking for some prayers. If you're a fan of the channel, if you could share the channel with some friends. It doesn't make a lot of money right now, but every little bit helps. If you've only seen a few of the fishing videos, we've got quite a few on there. If you came here for the fishing, there's plenty of nice little episodes. If you came here for the cooking, I believe I've got some, pretty good cooking videos out there, maybe give you some ideas or some inspiration. So asking for your prayers and your support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're seeing this for the first time, not the video that I ever thought I would be doing or ever wanted to do. So if you can, share a video, go back, watch one of the older videos. The channel started out a little slow, but I guess for only being a couple of years old and having, 22,000 subscribers, it's really started to gain some momentum lately, and I'd like to keep that momentum going while I'm in recovery. And it's possible that my friends that you've seen on the video are gonna try to take the boat out and do an episode or two and, give me something to work on while, I'm in recovery, because it's gonna be a long road. I'm gonna be out of work for probably 6 to 8 weeks. The 6th week will be Christmas week, so probably not gonna go back to work that week. Hopefully the week after Christmas, I'll be able to get back to work and, doing what we love to do. And might be a little bit before I've got a rod and reel in hand. Might be some opportunity for me to work on a year-end video, do some highlights, over the year of some of the big fish we caught and some of the experiences that we've had. Can't thank you guys enough for being part of the journey. I'll try to keep you updated on my progress. I'm really looking forward to the day that we can get back out on the water. Hopefully this spring we'll be able to do that. I really wanted to go one more time, and it's it's kind of killing me being here, because today is probably the most calmest day we've had in 2 months that I would have been able to go fishing, but unfortunately not in the cards. I tried. We met with a doctor, I think it was on Wednesday, and I was like, the weather looks pretty good this weekend. What do you think the chances are if I could take the boat out one last time and go fishing? And she kind of frowned at me and said, absolutely not. So we wouldn't want something bad to happen, 40, 50 miles offshore, and, probably wouldn't be able to make it back if something did happen. which, we don't want to do. We want to be able to share some more adventures with you guys, continue to grow the channel, and I'm not done yet, so I really do appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.